Hello girls and guys, welcome back to the channel. So we have got the Nissan Qashqai in pieces. This is the 1.5 DCI or whatever. Basically the Mercedes engine in a Nissan, also comes in other variations. We are going to be doing a turbo on this. It's provisionally stripped, not much is missing at this moment in time. We've already removed airbox, boost pipe, removed the scuttle panel, wiper blades, 14s or 15s, and then that just pulls up with some clips. Wiper motors out, 310mm, some plugs, load of plug connectors along here. And then we're going to be removing this as well, because we've got to get to the turbo, which is at the back there. If I haven't said already, airbox and all's out. So I've already pre-diagnosed this. I've got the turbo in the box there. This job does not look like it's going to be fun. Not at all. I mean, there's a big pile of stuff there, and this turbo suffered a beautiful turbo failure. As you can see, that turbo looks incredibly healthy. I've already removed the inlet pipe to it, which was two 8mm. Obviously, you see them on the rebuild, so I had to strip it down just to get to it. But in the meantime, let's get the scuttle panel off and let's walk through the job. All right, got the big scuttle panel out of the way. There was many 10mm bolts. I'd actually missed one that was there and there, but they're all off now. I've removed the 10mm to the cover, and we are starting to get to the turbo. Luckily, this is on a V-band. I hate these, but it's better than multiple bolts. I can't actually see the bolts that hold the turbo to the manifold, so that's going to be fun. This bracket here needs to come off as well. Not necessarily at the moment, but yeah, I'm on the hunt for manifold to turbo bolts now. Okay, so we have undone the exhaust housing here. Now I've removed the bracket here, and I've removed the 10mm that goes in the side here, because I'm hoping the turbo is going to slide that way. Probably going to have to loosen the brackets to hold the exhaust on. Removed a load of wiring around here. Still got this bracket on, but I think I'm going to have to separate it from an 8mm there, because this looks like a two-piece bracket. So I'll get that off now before I forget. No, that is all one, that bracket. Yeah, so that whole bracket's gonna have to come off, because that is mounted to the turbo via an 8mm on the side there. And then we can start removing stuff. The only thing that's annoying me is I can see one bolt. I know I've probably gone on about this before. There is one turbo manifold to turbo bolt around there, and I need to go underneath to find the other two. I'll undo this one in a second, but let's make sure that we are all ready to move first. This job it's fiddly. I can't remember what the book time is. It's definitely fiddly, but not too bad. Okay, so to remove that, I've removed the top one, and I've removed the 7mm that holds that in. Now you can get to this lovely little 8mm here, and the whole bracket is coming off. This is fun. I can't actually see the bolts for the manifold to turbo. It's around there somewhere. So I'm gonna have to undo that bolt, and then undo the clamps that hold the DPF in. Now it's already undone from the top. I hope I've disconnected all the wires. I think I have, and I mean there's gonna be some, no I haven't, there's two plugs there. So I'm gonna start undoing the exhaust, and well, let's ruin our day. These two bolts are now circles, so they won't come off. I've undone the two brackets that hold the DPF in. So now I'm going to disconnect that plug and undo these two to try and get that out as much as I can. Hopefully get enough angle on the dangle to get that whole thing out. I've also undone the bolts for that bracket there. And I'm going to hopefully swing it all out. If not, if I can get it close enough to cut the nuts off, that'd be great. You can see that they are rounded. Not good. Not good. And that was heated as well. So yeah, good times. I got that bracket off that was holding on them two plugs there. And then I realized there is one more thing left. The EGR cooler pipe that goes into the side of the DPF, which we need to get out. So the ones we are looking for, oh, there's one there. I've just sprayed loose juice all over it. So that one and the one underneath it. I and preparing for snappages. Okay, so the bottom bolt is not being very nice to me. I've ended up having to warm it up ever so slightly and then use a turbo socket on it. I'll show you what turbo sockets are. They are a godsend, but we've managed to crack the bolt and let's get it off. We finally managed to get the heat exchanger pipe out the side, or the EGR return pipe, and I don't know if you can see, hold on. Oh, that's not going well. Okay, right, forget it. Basically, up. There's hole number 1. So you can get to that one there, and if you come over the drive shaft this way, it goes in and out. It's like in a, okay, let me wedge that there. So you can see them 2 shiny holes. Yeah, there's one, and the other one is just next to it. So you can get to them through here, basically. I know that was painful to watch, and I do apologise. Yeah, that was as painful as it to watch. It was as painful to do. But the good thing is, don't need to take the exhaust all the way out because that would not be good. So now I believe I've only got the 1 bolt at the top to get off and the oil feed pipe. Haven't undone an oil return pipe. That might be a problem in a minute. And for the record, they were 10 mils and they come out with the studs. Makes me feel like a stud, it does. Well, that was hell. So I need to clean out the exhaust. So there was 2 more 8mm bolts for the oil return pipe. The whole pipe looks like it just pushes into the sump, but I couldn't get it out, couldn't get it in. So I just undone them in situ. I've dropped 1 bolt there, so I need to pick that up. There is a hell of a lot of oil in there, so I need to stick a magnet in the manifold and see if there's anything there. But the good news is that one is still there. But that one's not really there. Well, it is, but it isn't. They've just wedged firmly. Oh look, no hands. That's just wedged firmly into the compressor housing. So that is, that's a massive failure. Okay, so turbo 1 is in. We put the bolt, the awkward bolt in down there somewhere. Oil feed is in. Oil return is connected with the new gasket. Then go underneath and bolt up the other 2 bolts, 2 nuts that go onto the actual turbo itself. And then just, well, keep going with the rebuild. Well, after a nice weekend break, it's time to come back to a headache. So everything is pretty much on. The exhaust is on, everything's done from underneath. All the plugs and joy stuff, they're all connected. That isn't on as of yet. So literally I just need to rebuild this. 2 more bolts for this black pipe here, which we didn't see get taken off. They're 2 8mm that go along the top there, 1 there, 1 underneath. Very, very nice to get to the bottom one. And then it's just a case of, I'm not going to put the scuttle panel back on as of yet. Once I get that done, I need to do the intercooler draining stuff, double check all of that. Make sure we've not got excessive oil in there. You have to drain intercoolers and stuff like that when you do this job, because otherwise the engine can run on, and I don't want my office to get taken out. So let's get them last bits bolted up, 2 long 8mm. We'll finish the induction system and then start on the intercooler. I'd probably say at this stage you're about an hour away. The good thing is we can disconnect all the injectors to prime the turbo, which is going to be nice. All right, scuttle panels in. Don't forget you've got hidden little 10mm here, there and everywhere. And then you've got 2 blank plugs there, I don't know what they do. And then fit scuttle panel. Do not forget to connect the squirty pipe. So this is why you check everything, because look inside the intercooler. I don't know if you can see, but you see that little shrapnel there? Oh, is that some more? No. So there's shrapnel inside the top of the intercooler. Now that ain't gonna do the engine any good at all. I mean, it probably won't make it through there, but now we're gonna get the intercooler off and give it a good clean. All right, got the oil drain in, changed the oil filter. Now to get to the intercooler, 21, 16, 16, remove this pipe here, and then hopefully, oh yeah, it's already coming down. We'll get this big bar out of the way, and then I can get the intercooler out and give it a good clean. All right, do we think, oh, lovely. This is why you make sure everything is clear before you start up, because that would have gone straight through the engine would have run on, I would have voided my bowels on the seat, panicking to turn this car off. Lovely. So intercooler's coming out for a good clean and drain. Just cleaning the intercooler out, and this is why you have to look at the metal shards. Lovely. Straight in the bucket. So far we've got quite a lot of debris coming out, but it is looking cleaner in there, so we'll keep on going. After many minutes and tins of brake and clutch cleaner later, we have got an intercooler that is clean and no metal debris, and a lot in the bucket. Right, intercooler's back in and cleaned. I've topped the oil up. Now I'm going to disconnect make sure the oil's okay. Disconnect the injectors, put this pipe on loosely, because you've got to put the cover on, and then build oil pressure, check for leaks, and get ready to start it up. And get a pipe ready to block the air filter. So I've not put the air filter system on yet. I'm leaving that open, so if it does run on, I can get a cloth and I can block it, but I will bring it to the floor for that. Okay, everything's on. Injectors are disconnected because we're gonna prime to get oil up there and then make sure we've got no leaks. Okay, now one thing I need to check. Yep, we've got washers and we've got wipers, good, because we took them apart, so make sure everything works. Now that works, let's build oil pressure. Oil pressure building. Right, so we're going to we'll finish off putting it all back together. Now that we've got oil pressure, we're nearly ready to start it. First things first, we're going to change the air filter because that needs it. Okay, I pushed it outside out of fear of it running off, but I used a lot of brake and clutch cleaner in there, so nearly had some hairy moments. I am locked in 6th and I've just got it idling for a second. So this is how it's currently running. Lovely, I know. I'm going to turn it off in a second, connect that pipe, and get ready for a nervous road test. Okay, now we're all connected, and yeah, she is moving. Just going to give this a little 1 and 2 around the car park. Still quite paranoid of it. Okay, so I've given it a little drive around. I'm going to open the bonnet and just give it a quick check over. I've already had a little check for leaks on the priming, and everything looks good. So now just quick check underneath the bonnet. Then to check the oil level again, just to make sure it's up to point, because obviously everything was drained out. Refit the last engine cover, and then take it on a proper road test. Okay, happy campers, we are on max. Everything is looking good. We don't seem to have any leaks. Everything is in its right place. It is time to give it that road test. Now, the reason why I'm always nervous with these is because sometimes no matter how much you clear stuff out, you can't always get the oil out. So when you're driving it, you're naturally looking at the rev gauge. When you change gear, if the rev just stay in place, it's potentially running on its own oil. If you've ever had one of these or a diesel engine run on when it consumes its own oil, so when the turbo fails, it pumps a load of oil through, and when they run on, it is terrifying because there's not a great deal you can do. Just try and stop it. If it does happen, put it in the highest gear you can and release the clutch. Keep doing it until you eventually stall the engine. That's what you're trying to aim for. And if it's gone too far, get very safe distance, get a very good safe distance away from it. All right, let's get that road test done. All right, just got back from just over a mile road test. Now, I just noticed in the mirror, you can't see it. It is starting to smoke a little bit, which will be the excess oil through the exhaust. Now it's fully up to temperature, or nearly. So I'm gonna leave it running for a little bit, just to burn that oil out and give it another test run while I load another car in. And the next one is an Alpha for a turbo. Right, we can safely say this one is revving up nice. Everything seems all good. So this one is done.